Okay, guys, I'm live right now. Finally, I'm live after a couple hours. After the previous stream, has been a couple hours. Okay, right now I'm live. I'm ready to fight for my dreams. And the truth is, I have no idea. I have no idea how to make $1,000,000. At this point, has been 12 days, and I'm still trying. I'm still posting, going live, but I have no idea how to make $1,000,000. That's the truth. So, all that I can do right now is take that advice from people that already make $1,000,000, like Simon Script, and make my social media make the content creation my main priority, bro. Right now, that's my main priority because Simon said that I need to make content creation my main priority. That's why I'm doing this. And Alex said that I need to go live, bro. That live are the future. Lives are the future, bro. It's the future. Going live is the future, bro. Going live is the future, bro. Simple as that. So, if streams are the future, I need to continue going live. So, because going live is the future, bro. And I still posting every single day. I will post every single day during 365 days. Today is day 354. Day 354, fighting for my dreams, trying to make $1,000,000, even if I have no idea how to make $1,000,000. Yesterday, I was DMing business owners to offer my marketing service, and today I keep my promise and I contact the people that can help me to create my shoes brand. So I contact with that people and I keep my promise. I do my task for today. So I speak with that people and let's see what happens. I just want to see when this starts, bro. When I will launch my shoes brand would be amazing, bro, and I can make some money, bro. Because right now I need a little bit of cash. Not a little bit, I need a lot of cash, bro, right now. Please, Mr. Beast, if you are seeing this video, please give me money. I need money. I need $1,000,000. So please, I need help. So right now, I'm trying my best and I will do everything I can. Everything humanly possible can. So for today, we're continue watching Alex Bernmar's video. Simon Script's video about Alex Bernmar's strategy. I don't remember. Guide. Luke. Alex Bernmar's. No. Luke Belmar's guide. Luke Belmars. I was very confused, thinking first about Alex Hormozzi and then about Luke Belmar and then about Simon Squibb and I was very confused. But okay, today we're going to watch the video from the previous stream. Luke Belmar's guide to making money. So let's continue with that video. Every day I need to learn in order to make $1,000,000 because my goal is to make this a reality. I will continue posting until I become the most viral person on the whole internet, the whole world, bro. I need to be the number one. I will be the number one, bro. And also, I will put the counter in the left right corner. I don't know, bro. So, here's the counter. Right now, I have 75 subscribers. And I keep fighting to get more subscribers. I continue posting videos. So, every day I post a new video. So, for tomorrow, I hope to have 80 subscribers or 90 subscribers. Please, 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 please. If you're watching this, please subscribe. I need your help in order to be the most viral guy in the whole internet. So, and also to make $1 million in just 1 year, because that's the goal, to make $1 million in just 1 year. So, please subscribe, bro. Please subscribe, because I need your help to make $1 million in just 365 days. And today is day number 354. So today there are only 354 days left. Okay, let's see something. The counter. I want to see the counter because I only have 11 months, 19 days, and 3 hours left to make $1 million, bro. I only have 11 months, 19 days, and 3 hours to make $1 million, bro. So, zero viewers, bro. No problem. In the future will be 1 billion viewers. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, I feel stupid making these things, but who cares? Who cares? I need just to continue fighting, bro. I just need to fight for my dreams and never stop. Never, ever, never, ever. So, okay, I'm going to watch the second part of Luke Belmar's guide to make money, bro, because right now I have no money, but I'm planning to launch my shoes brand, and I already contact with the people that have all the information about importation and about all that stuff, about cost, about creating a Shopify shop or something like that. I need to try all the ways possible, bro. So I contact with those people because I need information before I start a cheese brand. The plan is sell a physical product and for now offer my marketing service for other business owners. That's the plan for now in order to make $1 million. That's the way, the big way, bro. So, let me share a screen with you, bro. Okay, let me share a screen, just share a screen because right now I have 0 viewers, but that's not a problem. I'm tired, also I'm tired because it's very difficult to post every single day. Don't feel tired, bro. I feel tired, I feel exhausted, but there are days that I don't want to go live, but I know that I need to go live in order to make $1 million. That's the price I pay. And only have been like 12 days. Today is day number 12. There are 354 days left, bro. Oh, that's a lot. But no problem. I will share a screen. Wait. Screen. Okay, let's go. Wait, because I need my notebook. It's very important for you guys to take notes. Please take notes. It's not only about what you learn. It's about what you apply, bro. You need to apply what you learn, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I also have a task yesterday. One of the things that Luke Belmar was talking about is that you need to look at the inputs and outputs, and you need and one important lesson that he teach me was to make a list of people that already made $1 million and DM them, and so just ask for an advice, bro. Just ask for an advice. That was the tip that Luke Bermars gave me. A list of 50 people that already made $1 million and ask them for an advice. For a wow, an advice, bro. Okay, let's continue watching this video. It's very powerful. It's a lot of information in 1 hour and 11 minutes, bro. Wow, bro.
In an old Cadillac, and we wanted to listen.
How is this program different from every other MIM or MBA program that exists in other universities in the world? If I were to ask you, let's say,
Listen to some music. That music is already attuned to that frequency. What we have to do is tune the radio and position ourselves in that frequency so then we can tune into it. So most people, they want to operate at a high vibrational frequency, attract, say something else. And your mindset and your actions need to be aligned. We talk about this concept of faith. People are like, you just need to believe. You need to believe that you can. Faith, without your ability to manifest it in the three-dimensional world through action, is dead. You can't just believe things. You have to create them through action. You need to materialize them with energy. And at whatever frequency you're going to place it at. Remember, frequency always exists. What we're doing is we're tuning ourselves to that frequency. Nikola Tesla famously said, because once again, this goes back to the school system, how we're being taught. Nikola Tesla famously said, my brain is a receiver of information. But what are we taught in the school system? That our brain is to be jammed with things that you have to memorize.
Okay, my microphone was turned off. I was saying that please subscribe if you are not subscribed. Please subscribe.
And this is blocked information, and this is how your brain works. Well, what if we're only tapping into 5% of our brain? What if the conversation here is, dude, what if I have to get smarter and tap into more of my brain? What if that's the maybe if you're operating off of 2%, you deserve to be broke because you're not operating at your optimal. So how do you expect to have optimal results if you're not operating optimally? It doesn't make any sense because you're going to attract that which you are. Naturally, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So
you need to act, bro. You need to act. And you need to start, bro. If you only imagine, if you only dream, things probably will never happen. You need to start, bro. Stop dreaming, start daydreaming, acting over your dreams. That's the meaning of daydream for me. Act over your dreams, bro. Don't let your dreams be only dreams. Act over your dreams and make them a reality, bro.
If Nikola Tesla says, hey, the brain's a receiver of information, the question is, what are the things that are causing static? My inability to receive information.
Act over your dreams and make them a reality, bro. Please. Please. I want to encourage you to take action over your dreams, bro.
Or my inability to get inspired, my inability to actually put forth the effort and purpose that I want. Well, what's the music that I listen to? What are the friendships that I hang out with? What's my environment? What do I eat? How do I speak to myself? All these things are either causing static or stillness in your ability to what? Receive information that gives you inspiration in order to act. Think of you and me in 1940 or 1950, driving down the Midwest in an old Cadillac, and we wanted to listen to some music. That music is already attuned to that frequency. What we have to do is tune the radio and position ourselves in that frequency so then we can tune into it. So most people, they want to operate at a high vibrational frequency, attract prosperity, attract purpose, attract wealth, but their actions aren't aligning with it. So you have to act and then you'll receive. You have to do and then the outcome will produce itself. All you have to do is change your mindset and be like, hey, you know what? Instead of looking at this.
In order to make $1 million, I need to act, bro. That's why I'm going live even if I have no viewers. That's why I post every single day, even if that don't give me money, bro. Because I need to start. And I'm starting this project called Living with Death. I need to be the most viral person on the internet. And if I want $1 million, I need to act. I need to post every single day. I need to go live every single day. That's how I can apply this concept that Luke is speaking about to me, to my project, to my personal brand, to myself, bro.
Situation negatively, and they look at it positively. Well, how do I do it? I don't know. Lie to yourself until you believe it, just like you lied to yourself about the negative shit. But once you understand that you can't solve the problems in your life with the same mindset and the same information that gave you the problems in the first place, then you understand that you need a renewed mind and you need new information in order to behave differently. So authenticity is the name of the game. As much as it feels like it's a vulnerability factor, once you treat yourself with grace, like we were talking about in the beginning, now you enter a situation where you don't care because you know you're just learning and figuring it out. I would study the Spain experiment.
Right. I think I'd like to get on to some of the, I guess, creating demand stuff and the social media stuff in a moment. Just before I do, the authenticity piece, just to clarify it, because I really believe in this so much and I want people to understand it. It's like, you've got to be authentic with yourself, right? First. It's not just an external or being authentic. One of the things I've noticed is I go for a lot of walks, and when I'm not thinking about work, when I'm just being myself, is when I have my best ideas.
Yes.
So that's a example of being authentic with yourself, not trying to force things as well, right? But people listen to music, which I think is cool, but sometimes they create a false feeling, and when the music's gone, they've lost that feeling. I think you have to get to that frequency, that authenticity frequency, sometimes without external stimulation.
You have
so
to.
This content is supposed to help people, but in a way that people have to get there on their own and be authentic to themselves, what they want to do, what their vision is, what they're doing.
And it takes time. Because you have to chip away at yourself.
Yes, and what you're pre-programming.
And you have to identify whether that programming serves you or not.
It doesn't for most people.
It doesn't, but most people are prideful.
Right.
And they're like, no, bro, you don't even believe that shit. Yeah. That's not your belief. Yeah. Don't fucking hold on to it. You don't even believe it, dude. You're just, I was telling my assistant, he was in a relationship. If we can't say this, I'll cut it off. But I asked him, I called him one day and I'm like, yo, are you happy? And he lied to me. He was like, yeah, I'm happy. And then he told me the other day, he's like, no, I wasn't happy. I was just too prideful to tell you that I wasn't happy. And we do that all the time. I do that myself.
Yeah, I think we all do.
I tell people, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm doing good. Well, no, I'm not actually doing good. And
England is really bad. Here, you ask anyone, how you doing? No, I'm good. And then you're like, if you actually ask them truly, they're like, they're having some trouble with debt or they're having this problem, that problem.
Yeah, and by allowing that, you create the status quo that it's okay.
I'd love it if the whole world, if you ask someone if they're okay or not, told you the truth. It'd be really interesting. First of all, people would ask it less because most of the time people ask it and don't really mean it. So you get less wasted conversations, pointless. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. But also, I think people should just be honest.
Yeah.
And I think every time someone actually tells me they've got a problem, my brain goes into how can I help them? If they don't tell me the problem, how can you help people? Because I think the hardest thing is to ask for help.
Yeah.
That's actually the hardest thing for people. I think people want to help. That's my instinct. A lot of people I meet want to help people, but help themselves, very hard, pre-programming, or help themselves by asking for help. People find it hard.
Yeah, I mean, you can't help yourself if you suck. Like, you can't help yourself if you suck. So, okay, you need to fix yourself first. Well, how do you fix yourself? Small wins. It all goes back to the small building blocks. People want to overcomplicate it, man. It's not that complicated. If you know you need to exercise, exercise. If not, you'll deal with the consequences. That's fine. If you want to be poor, be poor. If you want to leave hate comments, that's fine. Do that. It doesn't bother us. It doesn't change our lifestyle. It is what it is, but it's your choice. And I often tell people, the rich and the poor are both self-made, but only the rich will admit it. The poor person will never admit that they're broke, and that they're responsible for it. No. You're full. If you're a grown up, if you're 15, 17, 19, 21, like, I get it. If you've had a bad life, you have some come up that you still have to do, and
then, and I could talk.
I get it.
I was 15 years old,
Yeah.
and I was homeless.
Yeah.
But if I look back critically and looked at the time, I had an argument with my mum. I didn't compromise. She didn't compromise. And I got kicked out.
And she had leverage.
Yeah, she had leverage. Now, you could argue that was self-created, because if I had accommodated her and maybe worked it out, then I wouldn't have been homeless.
Yeah.
So it was self-inflicted. Although I blame her for most part of my life.
And most of it is once you get to that point of self-infliction, you understand that you're self-inflicting both negative and positive. So you're fully in control of everything.
Yeah.
And what I like about that is that nobody can take your wins.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to take your losses. That's fine. I get it. I'll eat my L's by myself. I'll deal with the garbage. That's fine. But when I win, I'm gonna savor that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, what we talked about. If you want to experience pleasure and you want to experience trophies and winning, perfect. You're gonna have to deal with what it takes.
Yeah.
And that's what most people are not willing to go, because they have the 9 to 5 paycheck mindset, which is, I work today, I get paid tomorrow. I work today, I get paid tomorrow. And if that's how you think and you're living on today, it doesn't work that way. If you want to build true wealth, you need to be building imaginarily first as to what it is that you want. And sometimes that takes saving, that takes structure, that takes becoming a new type of person. If you
even a new community around you, like
a new circle of people, new
it's hard for
everything.
people. They grew up in certain towns, certain villages. They got their hometown.
Yes.
I've got 3 brothers. Two of my brothers, I don't like them. But that's really hard to say. You just assume because you're born into the same family, you're going to be the same. But you have to learn to be disciplined and say, well, they're not the people I want to be around.
And that's okay.
That I almost feel like that's my fault. Like that I'm born into a family where some people I didn't like. But I think people have got to admit it. And maybe make the life they want, take control. Like you say, take ownership of that. And then you own the wins if you do that.
And the beauty about the wins is that it gives you the confidence that the small L's take away.
Yep, totally.
And you start cycling that, and you go to an upward spiral. People talk about the downward spiral. They never talk about the upward spiral. The upward spiral is just positive momentum and positive momentum reinforcement. You go fast, and you're like, damn, I'm getting lucky. No, you're not getting lucky. You're just reaping the reward of the effort that you put in 5 years ago. The loser calls it luck.
Yeah.
Because they have no ability to dictate their life.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as luck. Yeah. Everything in life is a game of what? Probabilities. Probabilities. So the question is, how do you increase your odds of success?
The more risk you take, the luckier you get.
There you
is
go.
actually the key.
Okay, that's very interesting, and I was thinking that, okay, the life is a game of probabilities, but also most of the people that is successful right now have a little bit of luck, because you can do everything you humanly possible can, but you can go live every single day, DM 1,000 business owners per day, post 13 videos per day, but in life you need a little bit of luck. That's the truth, bro, because I can try every path possible, but it might not work, bro. It might not work. So I think that most people that is successful right now, most of those people is because they get at least 1% of luck. Or, yes, but you need a little bit of luck. All people that are successful right now is because they have a little bit of luck. That doesn't mean that luck is everything. You can get lucky, but that doesn't guarantee $1 million, bro. You need to try hard, keep fighting and doing what you're doing, bro. But what I mean is that you need at least a little bit of luck.
Right. So let's just finalize this at the end now. The high demand piece. I just want to, can you just dig into that bit for a second for us?
So let's talk about high demands. Let's go a little bit more on the business side. So nowadays you have what we talked about, your services, your products, and your goods. You need to be able to present them to people. If there's no eyeballs, not going to make money. So there's a couple ways. First of all, your business needs to have an online presence, whether you like it or not. Even if it means just having Google and having your customers leave a 5-star review, because whether you believe it.
One important thing that Simon Squibb always talk about is that you need to start a personal brand. Right now, 2026, you need to start a personal brand. If you want to start a business, you need a personal brand, bro. It's one of the most important things right now. And I think that a lot of business right now don't have a personal brand, and that's a very huge mistake, bro. You need a personal brand, bro. Right now, you need to go in the social media game. Even if you don't like it, you need to go on the social media and post whatever you want, but you need to create a personal brand on social media.
People look at that, and that's the first interaction, the first impression, and it matters. So first of all is the impression. Before you get traffic, anything, what's the positioning? When inbound traffic comes, whether it's organic or generated, doesn't matter. What's the first impression? What's the first impression of your business?
By the way, I always tell people, if you have a website, for example, which I think everybody should have for their business and for themselves, if your website, for example, a link doesn't work on it, I make a judgment about that business. It's not well managed. It's not. First impressions matter, and I think a lot of people don't realize how quickly people will make a decision whether or not they're going to work with you. So your high demand drops instantly because you're not following these basics.
And you improve it as time goes on. So how do you do it? Feedback. What is feedback? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So what's the feedback telling you about what you're doing? Are the reviews good? Are the reviews beneficial? Do you manage the images on your social media presence? Yes or no? Like, what is it? How is it that you are positioning yourself to recruit new talent? I realized I was like, people think LinkedIn sucks, but who thinks that? I'm trying to find super top tier talent. Okay, looks like I need to have a LinkedIn presence because that's where a lot of professionals happen to be. So that's what the feedback told me. So I had to act upon the feedback. And then I started getting better people on the inbound because my first impression was great. People knew what they were getting into. So the first impression is super important.
I posted these 2 nearly identical videos, and guess which one performed better? It was actually this one. All because of this tool.
YouTube, bro.
Second is we're going to talk about organic traffic. So we talked about trends and we talked about narratives. If you want to reduce your cost of acquiring a customer, because there's a specific cost to acquire a customer, and you should know based off of your product how much it's going to cost you to acquire a customer. If you're selling a product for $97, okay, perfect. If it costs you $200 to acquire a customer, that's not an issue as long as you have a high lifetime value. Because you're paying in advance for the future lifetime value of the customer. Let's say it's $1,000. But if you're only focused on the short-term money, you're going to lose out. And you're going to have to focus on acquiring a customer for really cheap, which is totally fine if that's how you want to do it. Let's say it's a drop shipping approach, Let's say it's let's say you're selling a product for $97 and you acquire it for $25. So in this case, you can make front end money, but you can tell that it's not that much. You can run off of small margins. So organic traffic, capitalizing on trends, narratives that are taking place. I like social media. That's what I utilize. Social media will tell you what's hot. You go on Twitter, it'll tell you what's trending, and you can create product demand based off of that. Then you can have what I would call your inorganic, or you would call your paid traffic. And paid traffic is going to be divided into two categories. And this is a new category that has just come out recently that I've mastered. We're going to talk about paid traffic, because if you want to acquire customers nowadays, you're going to most likely have to pay for attention. So the first type of paid traffic is where you pay platforms. So you pay platforms, whether you want to pay for ad revenue, like that's your ad expense, whether you want to pay for like banners, whatever it is. Different platforms operate differently. So this is your paid platforms: Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Snapchat ads, Google ads. This is where people are. So over the last 15 years, paid platforms made a ton of money because the only way to interact with people was to notice them through an ad. It would be very hard for people to know who, for example, let's say Ty Lopez was back in the day, unless he had that In My Garage ad. What if he made a YouTube video, just posted it, maybe 5,000 people would have seen it. He had to use paid platforms in order to push his message. However, 2 years ago, TikTok rolled around and took over, and they introduced distribution. Your ability to reach people that have never interacted with your content before via the For You or the Explore.
This is what exploded for me. I mean, we had a video day before yesterday get 52 million views. The distribution is insane.
And you can quantify it. So somebody do the math for me. So 52 million views. Let's say your Facebook CPM on the cheap side is $7. Tell me how much in paid traffic that video generated. So you just have to divide it.
742,857.
So you get $750,000 worth of impressions for free because you've mastered distribution marketing.
And you don't need a big following. If you look at the numbers behind that video, 99% of the views are new followers.
For you and
brand new people.
So now people have no excuse, because people used to have the excuse, hey, I need to master paid traffic. I need to either find an agency. I need to learn it myself. I got to spend money. I don't have it. Okay, well, I get it. Today, it's no longer the case, because you have distribution marketing. So how are you distributing your products for people to find out? If you have a service, are you showcasing people your service every single day, multiple times a day? Or are you hiding it? If you're hiding it, nobody's going to see it. There's plenty of businesses on TikTok. They're out here with a voiceover, cutting lawn, and getting customers left, right, and center. So distribution marketing now makes it completely possible for everybody to get attention. You obviously have to pay for it. What are the costs? Well, it depends on how crazy of an operation.
Most of the time, it's just creativity.
Maybe you have to incur a bus ticket. Maybe you have to buy your product to shoot the product. Small things, but it's minimal because the return, the ROI is there. Now, what I like about this for brands is that now brands, and this is the final part, is you need your content. This is the key, right? Because if you want to master distribution, the content needs to be good. However, back in the day, let's say you wanted to hire an influencer, or you wanted to go into a studio to shoot your e-commerce product, you would think about it twice, because you're like, dang, if this person posts once, maybe I'll get 100,000 views and it won't be worth it. Or I have to spend a lot of money on this shoot. I don't know if this campaign will go well. Today, with distribution, you can repurpose the same video 1,000 times. So now the lifespan and the shelf life of the content is higher. Therefore, you can invest more into it, which used to not be the case, because you would need new creatives when the audience fatigued. If you could make no more videos for the rest of your life and just recycle what you already have, and you would obviously get new eyeballs. Why? Because there's 8 billion people out there. So it's like there's plenty of people out there to go around with the content you already have done. How I did it is we built a distribution system. And in our distribution system, we created multi-page accounts. So I have thousands of accounts. In my first,
you controlled all those accounts?
All of them. Yeah. So you can have affiliate programs. You can hire people to come work for you. They're called clippers. There's the short form clippers. Today, I have about 150 people working for me in that distribution department. We do about 150 to 200 million views per month on short form. And my CPM is 2 cents. So I think if I have 500x cheaper than your average cost for 1,000 views on Facebook.
This is partners, paid down partners, because I see that as your internal. Because the other model is reverse of what you just said, which is you incentivize someone to do. If people are listening, they can't afford to hire 150 people like you have done. The way they can do it is the other way, which is you basically, every time someone signs up to your product, because of you've created an account for someone, they get a piece of it.
Yeah.
So an affiliate model, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
you can have an affiliate
model. It's the reverse of what you said, because you've got the funds to go and hire those people.
But simultaneously, I didn't start that way. How I started was I would also pay per view.
Right.
So you pay in direct proportion to the value that the person provides, which if you're thinking that people are just going to work for free and get you views for free, you're delusional. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it does. By the way, I've got fans. I've never done this. So I actually have people that are making my content. What I think they're doing is they're trying to make money off TikTok.
Absolutely.
So they've taken my YouTube videos. I haven't done this.
And they're getting paid for the views.
Yeah. So that's another model, right? And that's organic.
But this is where it gets even better. It's when you add the pay-per-view that you give them and you add the TikTok pay-per-view.
Right.
Because TikTok's already giving them this. Now you double it down and give them something on top of it.
So you give them a baseline salary and now you give them an upside. This is not known.
Obviously it's not known. That's why most people don't do it.
But I'm shocked it's not known. Why is it not common knowledge? I mean, you would think that people like TikTok, they should pay us to do this, by the way. We've just basically explained why TikTok is a channel you've got to be on, because Instagram is different. Instagram doesn't pay you for views.
It doesn't.
YouTube pays you for views, but is incredibly tough as a platform. So it's kind of interesting that right now, back to what we were talking about earlier, right now is probably the time to start a business because this distribution is still available.
And it's cheap, it's available, and social platforms are competing against each other to offer the best distribution. Because right now they're realizing that they're not in the business of making money, they're in the business of surviving.
Right.
Because all these social media platforms that exist, dude, they're burning fucking money left, right, and center to hold on to users.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is go to where people are distributing you the best.
Okay, right now I'm thinking about should I create a Facebook account as well, because right now I have a TikTok account, a YouTube account, an Instagram account, but I don't have a Facebook account. So must I create a Facebook account? Should I create a Facebook account? Right now, I don't know if I think that Facebook right now is a dead platform, but I'm not sure. Probably will work. I'm not sure, but right now I have a YouTube account, an Instagram account, and also TikTok. But probably I can try with Facebook. But I think that Facebook nowadays is dead. Bro, Facebook is dead right now. That's my personal opinion. Okay? That's only my personal opinion.
For example, during the World Cup, you would watch the matches. And what was running on the ads, right? We need to be aware. It said YouTube Shorts. I'm like, okay, YouTube is probably going to push YouTube Shorts.
Right.
So I took 4 different pages, right? Built out just a YouTube Shorts, did 1 million followers on all 4 different pages of my own content, the same content. We were talking about repurposing, right? The content on all 4 different pages through short form, did over 1 million followers.
Yeah. We've had exactly the same experience. YouTube Shorts now are fighting with TikTok.
Yes.
But YouTube are backed by Google, Alphabet. They actually have money. They're not burning money.
Exactly.
So unlike TikTok, which actually has a bit of a difficult financial model, if you're not on YouTube Shorts right now and taking advantage of it, and like you say, it doesn't have to be you on camera talking to people. It can be like, I know someone who's unpacking videos and he's just using white gloves and unpacking videos, and people
get tens of millions of views.
Get tens of millions of views, and then people can buy the product down below. So you don't have to be on camera. You can be an introvert and still leverage all of this. You don't have to be an extrovert.
Yes,
like
you don't even have to talk on camera. You can just have an AI voiceover. Just write. You don't even have to write the script.
Yeah.
Like that's how insanely automated this thing's getting. Dude, when I had to start doing e-commerce back in 2017, I had to sit down, think about everything, think about the copy, think about the hook, I can just tell ChatGPT, give me 19 different hooks, give me a script that is X amount of words long. I want it to have this narrative. I want it to have Apple commercial vibes. I want it to be simple for a kid to, and then you read it and then you tweak it, you work on it a little bit. But 90% of the work, dude, it's done.
Crazy.
You don't even have to have a fucking product.
It's never been easier, is it?
It's never been easier. And what I tell people is, and this is where it gets crazy, okay? Like, we're talking about all these things, and you're working your 9 to 5, like you're dealing with your bullshit. You look at your bank account, you're missing money, you owe money to people, like life's not good. We've all been there. We've all been there. What you are in right now is a hamster wheel. You're in a hamster wheel. Most people's issue is their ability to break out of the hamster wheel, thinking that the moment they jump off of the hamster wheel, that they're going to fail, that they're unproductive, that they're moving backwards. But remember, the hamster wheel is an illusion of moving forward. You have to get off of the fucking hamster wheel in order to move.
Es posiblemente una de las decisiones más importantes para tu negocio. Tu decisión clave es la...
But people don't get that.
So I want to jump off it. How are we going to jump off it? I want people to jump off that hamster wheel.
So first is understanding that everything that we do in life are loops. Most people live on loop behaviors. You wake up at the same time. You do the same thing in the morning.
It's interesting because today I was watching a video that says something like, break the loop today or the loop will repeat tomorrow. Break the loop today or the loop will repeat. No. Was like, break the pattern today or the loop will repeat tomorrow. Break the pattern today or the loop will repeat tomorrow. Was a very interesting video.
Of habit. Go to the same job. Comfort. But it's the same thing. When I was working my 9 to 5, 2018, it was 2017, 2018 before I quit. It was a comfortable job. Cubicle marketing job.
Dangerous, so it's comfortable.
$4,800 a month. Spending a couple $100 sleeping on my brother's couch. I was chilling. Like I had money. I was good. Could afford, could go out, eat, nice restaurant. I was good. But then an opportunity presented itself. I could take the same skill, do it for myself, which was at the time running Facebook ads, and do it for a company on Wall Street. How much do they want to pay me? $9,000. Same skill set, better money, but I had to quit my job. I had to get out of the hamster wheel. And what I realized...
What a difficult decision because you have a stable job, but, well, bro, it's, for me right now it's a lot of money. $9,000, bro. I only have $1, bro. $9,000, bro. But the decision to quit your job, bro. Oh, bro. What a hard decision to take.
Was like, okay, why is this easy for me to do now? It's because I secured a monkey bar before I let go of the last one.
You get one client.
All you have to do is set yourself up. You have to position yourself in order to slow down the hamster wheel so that you can get off. Most people are like, I'm just going to quit my job. Yeah. No. Secure a monkey bar before you let go of the last one. If not, you're going to fall on your motherfucking back.
So number one, though, is get your costs down, isn't it? So that's why it's down. Number one, get your costs down. This is so key. Number two, what you're saying there, like have a monkey bar to grab, which I think is get a client, right? Or get a replacement.
We'll call it side money.
Yeah, side money. An income stream. Could be those videos I just mentioned within video. It doesn't matter. Something that's going to give you...
Replaces your current thing.
Unlimited upside.
Yes.
That's why I love side hustle so much. It's become a bit of a... I mean, I've been saying side hustle. I've got a lot of negative comments. Oh, people shouldn't be doing a side hustle. There's too much stress, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. That's how you get off the hamster wheel.
Yes.
Right? Reduce costs, side hustle. What else can people do?
And then the third one, which is I think most people don't realize, is the goal.
Right.
Like, it's like What is the goal that is going to allow me to no longer do the hamster wheel? What's the goal? How much money? By when? How much money do I need to save? How many clients do I have to get? Like a very simple goal. Okay, side money. Okay, how much?
Financial literacy is also not taught in school, which is
Not
absolutely
taught at all.
ridiculous. But I think when people understand, if you want to make £1 million, you are never going to make it on an hourly salary.
Never.
It's never going to happen. You'll be 65, you'll own your home, you'll be house rich, life poor. You won't have the skills to make money that you need. I don't understand why people don't all have a goal. In fact, everybody listening now, write your goal down below. What is it? I'll critique it, and you probably won't have time to critique.
I'll probably check it out. Yeah.
Well, check it out, right? Write down your goal.
Oh, bro. Wait.
Anything?
Let me reload the page. Okay. Wait. Something is happening with my computer, bro. Okay.
Your home, you'll be house rich, life poor.
Okay, how much?
Financial literacy is also not taught in school, which is
Not
absolutely
taught at all.
ridiculous. But I think when people understand, if you want to make £1 million, you are never going to make it on an hourly salary.
Never.
It's never going to happen.
That's-
You'll be 65, you'll own your home, you'll be house rich, life poor. You won't have the skills to make money that you need. I don't understand why people don't all have a goal. In fact, everybody listening now, write your goal down below. What is it?
Okay, I'm going to write my goal. Okay. Okay. This is my goal. Not my dream. My dream is different. My dream is to build a world of impossibles. But my goal right now, the first thing on my list of 100 things I want to do before I die is to make $1 million. So this is my goal. Comment, bro. Okay, I dropped my comment.
I'll critique it, and you probably won't have time to critique.
I'll probably check it out. Yeah.
Well, check it out,
Oh,
right?
Leave my comment, bro. So leave my comment. Please read it. Please, because I need help. I have right now I have 70. Let me check. 75 subscribers. I'm still in 75 subscribers. Yes, I still in 75 subscribers, bro. Oh! If you're watching this video in the future, please subscribe. I need your help to go to the moon, bro. I need your help to go to the moon. And also to create a world of impossibles. and also to make $1 million in just 1 year.
Write down your goal.
Subscribe to go to the moon. Help me go to the moon, bro.
Anything else you want to share?
Yeah, let's continue. So we have reducing costs because obviously you want to give yourself mental real estate. You want to have room, wiggle room. You want to side money. Okay, from where? How? To who? Does have to be a lot. Dude, flipping sneakers. I know 17-year-old kids making 20, 30,000.
I love that. When I meet
30,000 a month, man.
Yeah. And they love it too. They're meeting celebrities.
And they're crushing it.
Yeah.
And they're crushing it. So they have a goal. They establish their goal. Now they're making money. Now they're able to what? Afford the luxury to get out of the hamster wheel. And they're not doing it feeling like it's risky. That's what most people are like, this is risky. Okay, well, create the variable where you reduce risk. So limit your expenditures, increase your cash flow with a simple goal. So that's how you get off of the hamster wheel. That's the very simple purpose. Now, I'll conclude with this. Once you get off of the hamster wheel, you need to understand why most people will never get off of the hamster wheel and why you don't want other people to get off of the hamster wheel in a certain perspective. One is most people are comfortable in their current zone. So once you break out of your current situation, the people that are around you that are still on the hamster wheel, they're going to think you're nuts. They're going to think you're crazy. They're like, why the fuck are you running? Why are you not being productive on the hamster wheel?
Even when you made a lot of money, people are like, why are you working so hard when you made a lot of money? Because I enjoy it. People even...
So the other hamsters begin questioning your shit.
Yeah.
And so now you have to have what? Definiteness of purpose. You need to have definiteness of purpose.
Down for me, definite of purpose.
So you need to have defined purpose.
Defined, okay.
Defined purpose. And we end with this. Because when people sign up for entrepreneurship, they don't realize that they're signing up for 95% hardship. And unless you have a defined purpose and a definite purpose, whether it's other people telling you in your ear that, hey, you're not going to make it, whether it's the business situations that you're going to go through that are going to suck, if you have no definite purpose, you're not going to have the key to business and the key to making money in life. It's longevity. You win in the long term. That's how you win the game. And unless you have purpose, you can't have longevity because of the things that are going to happen. What's a very practical example of this?
Business is a long-term game.
We see this take place every single day. If I was to take you right now, we went to the river and we went to the captain's deck. And we asked the captain, hey, we want to go to X, Y, and Z port. Okay, we have the goal. Do you know how to get there? Within a sentence and maybe 10 seconds of research, he would tell you exactly where we're going. Can most people tell you within 10 seconds in a paragraph where they're going? No. So you need to establish a goal. And then realize that for 99% of the journey from port A to port B, you're not going to see the destination. For 99% of the journey, you just have to trail the journey. But you know that you have a definite set purpose and an objective. So you have an objective and you understand that 99% of the way, you're never going to see the output. You're never going to see the end result. You just are going to arrive there. And once you've arrived there, now by definition, you're once again an unsuccessful person because now you have to find another port of destination. So those people are like, oh, I hit my goal and now I feel empty. Yeah, because you have no purpose. You need a new purpose. And life is about conquering purposes. Finding purpose is about achieving purpose.
So true.
And that's what I leave people with. Find definite purpose, define purpose. That purpose needs to be attributed to something that has longevity, that gives you the ability to run long. And I think we can find a lot of purpose and pleasure in that.
That is so insightful. And I think the thing is as well, that journey of going on that boat to that island, being on the island will never be an interesting story to people on the island. So the journey that got you where is what makes you interesting.
And the purpose is more than a paper with a college degree, bro. It's more than a paper with a college degree. So you just need to find your purpose. Look for your purpose, bro. Right now, I know my dream, I know my goals, I know my purpose.
And so when I tell people that, enjoy that journey, like that journey is hard, There'll be scary moments at sea, but there'll be the stories you tell later.
Yes.
Don't you want stories? Don't you want legacy? Like, but there'll be the stories you tell later.
Yes.
Don't you want stories? Don't you want legacy? Like, I want to tell my son the things. I went to Hong Kong when I had no money. I did this, I did that. I don't want to tell him I just grew up in my hometown and died in my home.
Okay, today I'm writing my story, bro. I'm writing my destiny. I'm writing the fate. You can write the fate. No, yes, I write the fate. That's why, man, my name is Writing Fate, not Writing Destiny. I write the fate. Even if fate is already good, bro. Doesn't matter. Even if fate is already written, I can write fate, bro.
Hometown, right? That journey on the ship. Thank you so much. We have a little bit of a joke at the end of these videos where I say, should we go for chicken? Do you fancy some chicken?
I'm down for some chicken.
Whilst I was with Luke, he answered some of your most asked business questions to our brand new series on the Help Bank channel. Click the video on the screen to now check it out.
¿Quieres entrar en el mundo tech, pero no sabes por dónde empezar? Este webinar gratuito de Python es para ti. En nuestro
Okay, bro. Very powerful video. Very powerful video. I can write fate even if it's written, bro. Fate is already written. Now I can write fate, bro. I'm not writing destiny. I'm writing fate, bro. So yes, I can build my story. Right now I'm building my story. Right now it's hard. Right now I'm fighting. But that's the story that I will tell in the future, bro. I started with 0 viewers, and probably in the future 1 billion viewers, 2 billion viewers. I didn't know. I tried this way. I tried to be an appointment setter. I tried to be a grow operator. I learned from business. I learned these things, and I traveled to this place, and that's my story, bro. Right now, I'm writing my story. Writing fate, not writing destiny. Even if fate is written, I can't write fate. That's why my name is Writing Fate, bro. Okay, let's continue with the trading video. Okay, this video is very confusing, bro. Very confusing, but I will try. I want to learn about trading. Right now, sounds very interesting. So let's continue with this video.
382 is
Okay.
ratios that people look for is a 382 retracement.
At this point, we already understand that we learned about the candles, That's all I learned because this topic was very confusing, bro. Very confusing. But we learned that there are different types of candles. Wait, I'm looking for my notes. The doji candles and the basic candles. Also, we'll learn about market, raging market, erratic or sharpie, and bearish market. This topic was very confusing. No problem. I will try. I need to try.
Tracement for a trend
And you can see that that 382 retracement is lining up in our zone here as well, okay? Now, some people look for deeper retracements at a 618, but really the 382 is the, you know, the indication of a strong trend. So you can see it's another thing that we can add on now, because we've now got our angular and horizontal support resistance lines. We've got our we've got the pullback phase. We've got the 382 retracement. You can also see here that we've got this even handle number. You see this 1.1000. Now, another thing that you could use to your discretion is even handle numbers. Anything that's on the flat or 500 or even numbers with 50 in them, they seem to be respected more often than not. So you can see that we've got 1.1 flat. That is a flat, even handle number. You know, when you go to the petrol station and you put the petrol in your car and you squeeze the pump and you try and get it on the zero, that same psychology is represented in the markets, believe it or not. And for whatever reason, these psychological numbers are respected. Lots of people take their orders or profits at these levels, which means we see movement in the market. So great, 1.1 flat. We've got all this confluence, all of this going in our favor. So all we need to do now is place an order, right? So we just want to place an order. And what I'm looking for is the candlestick formation as my signal to say, right, now we're ready to place an order. And I've already got my candle signal right here. Okay, so let's just take off this Fibonacci because it's a little bit, it's cluttering the chart. So all I'm going to do now is place an order just below the low of this high test wick. Okay, and I'm going to be placing a sell stop order. I'm going to go through orders in just a moment. But for now, if we go from the mindset of I'm just testing this out, okay, so I just want to see what happens. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to place an order here just below this low, and I'm going to put my stop loss up here. And don't worry, you don't know what stop loss is at the moment, but I'm going to explain what it is. Whoops, what's going on here? Okay, so my stop loss is going to go above this high. The entry is going to go below the low. And then what I'm basically saying is to my broker, I'm saying if price action pushes below this line, I want to get in at this price and I want to get out at a predetermined price, maybe down at the lows. Okay, so I'm going to say, right, in this instance, I'm going to test getting out down here at the lows, right, at the lows. Great. Let's see what happens. So we just let the market play out. We get triggered into the trade and there's a high probability move. And look, not only did we get our high test candle wick here, we got a lower low, lower close than the previous low. This is called a 3-bar reversal. Okay. And we also got another rejection here. So added confirmation. Even if you didn't get in here and waited for this candle, you got even more confirmation because you could see not only did we get another rejection, we also closed even lower than the previous low. So then you could have placed your order here and got in. Make sense? So I hope you understand how we use that kind of multi-factor approach to looking at different components on price to really drill down and see where the high probability setups are. And forming a story of price allows us to predict what's likely to happen next. Then all we've got to do is go and test this historically. So a case of literally just going back in time, and every time you get this set up, practicing the moves, and you know, going through it 1 bar at a time in real time, as if like, right, what we're in, the run or the pullback, run or the pullback. Okay, great. What am I looking for now? Support, resistance, etc., etc. And you want to have a go at doing that, and you might want to pause the video to go and practice some of that. And what I'm going to go through now is what you're going to want to know in order to actually place an order. But before we do that, we have to understand the importance of testing this and how to test it. So let's do that first. All right, so from here, before we get stuck into the business side of things, which is going to be really important in terms of testing, profitability, you know, making sure that you've got a solid system, and then looking at strategies and things like that, we first of all have to address something that's kind of the elephant in the room here, and that is orders, placing orders, and what they mean. You know, what are they? So first of all, I'm going to talk about the different types of orders, and then I'm going to talk about how you calculate your position size, and then how you know exactly what order to place and where and when and why and how much risk you've got at stake and all that kind of good stuff. So, okay, so what I want to start by giving you first is the terminology and the references used to describe different order types. Okay, and I'm going to write them out first of all. So write these down. We've got a buy limit. We've got a sell limit. We've got a buy stop. We've got a sell stop. Okay. And we've got at market. Now, at market. Now, those are the references. Those are the terms that you might have heard when it comes to order placement. Now, I want to give you a reference or a kind of description of each of these, because they can all be used in different ways, right? So some of you might be familiar with the term stop loss. Okay, well, a stop loss is the way we use any of these orders. Okay, so a stop loss is the way that you're using these orders, not exactly. So a sell stop and a buy stop isn't a stop loss. A buy limit can be a stop loss. A sell limit can be a stop loss. An at market order can be a stop loss if you've got a mental level that you're actively watching. And I'll explain more in a moment, right? So forget stop loss at the moment. I'll explain that in a moment. But these are the types of orders. A buy limit is a limit order where you're telling your broker, each of these orders are instructions to your broker, by the way. So first things first, a lot of people think that when they place an order on the chart, that is the exact level that they should be filled in, but it's not. It's actually an instruction to your broker to then fill your position at the nearest possible price. Okay, and I want you to understand that, because I don't want you to be one of these people that blame brokers and things like that for, not honoring your order and all this. Right? It happens. And when you blame brokers for things like that, it just shows the lack of knowledge on brokers. Now, there is obviously things that go on underhanded by some brokers, which is why I use Trade Nation, where they change spread values and things like that. I hate all that. And I would say if you ever experience that, get rid. But just understand that when you place an order on your chart, it's an instruction to your broker. Great. Good. So a buy limit order is telling your broker that if price pushes down below what we're trading at the moment, and we hit a certain limit, whatever price you specify to be that limit. So let's just say, for instance, that we're trading here, okay, and you're telling your broker. So let's just do this in a chart fashion. So we're trading at this price, and you tell your broker, actually, if we push down to here, I want to set a buy limit order, which means if we hit that limit, I want to buy the currency. Okay, so basically it's an instruction to your broker to say, if we hit this level below where we're trading at the moment, whatever you predetermine that to be, I want to buy X amount of position. All right, and don't worry about position sizing just yet. So we set a limit order down here, and if price pushes down, your broker will then will put you in a long position. Make sense? Now, sell limit works the other way. So we're telling the broker, if price pushes up to this predetermined limit that I'm going to tell you, above what we're trading at the moment, I want to sell the position. Okay, so again, exactly the same thing. We're trading at this value, and you're saying, I want to set a sell limit up here. Okay, this was a buy limit. This is a sell limit, and if price pushes up to this level, you want to sell, and they'll put you in a sell position, a short position, right? A buy stop order is kind of the other way around. So let's just say we're trading at this level. You're basically, a buy stop order is saying to your broker, if we hit this level above what we're trading, I want to buy. Okay, so let's just say that we're trading here, and you say, if we push up to this level, I want you to put me into a long position. I want to buy at this level. So this is a buy stop order, meaning that you're thinking that the price is going to go up. And a sell stop order is to buy. Okay. Broker, if we hit this level above what we're trading, I want to buy. Okay. So let's just say that we're trading here, And you say, if we push up to this level, I want you to put me into a long position. I want to buy at this level. So this is a buy stop order, meaning that you're thinking that the price is going to go up. And a sell stop order is the other way. So again, if a sell stop order is an order to your broker to say, if price pushes down below what we're trading at the moment to this predetermined level, please sell me, put me in a short position. Okay, I want to sell. So you place your order down here, which is be a sell stop, and then you're thinking that, you know, your bias is that market's going to continue going down. Make sense? So we've covered buy limit, we've covered sell limit, we've covered buy stop, and we've covered sell stop. An at market order is just you watching the charts live and clicking buy or sell and giving your broker an instant instruction as soon as possible to get you into that direction, whatever that might be, whether it's a buy at market or sell at market. So you can buy or sell at market, and that is, you know, get me in now, sell now, buy now. Make sense? Now, all of these are orders, and they can all be used for target positioning, or they can also be used for getting into a trade, and they can also be used for stop loss. So now we've covered the references of each of these. Let's cover the three different ways we use these. Okay, so basically it's a stop loss, a entry order, and a target, or a profit target, or whatever you want to call it, right? Profit target. And you can have multiple profit targets, but we're just going to stick with this for simplicity right now, okay? Now, first thing I want you to get clear in your mind is every order is an order. What do I mean by that? Every order is an order, and what I mean by that is a lot of traders we see out there, they put so much emphasis and attention and, you know, effort and energy into trying to pinpoint the most accurate place for entry, which we was doing earlier, right? But when you think about it, your entry could be someone's stop loss. Your target could be someone's entry, and your target could be someone's stop loss, right? So they're all orders. They all behave the same way. So you want to think about putting as much effort and attention into every one of these orders, not just your entry, but your stop loss and your target. So you want to give the stop loss breathing room. You want to give your target enough, you know, you want a decent sized target, but not too greedy in some situations. And your entry obviously needs to be precision as well, so you get that best probable move. So any of these orders that I've just been through here, buy limit, buy stop, sell stop, or at market, can be used as stop loss, entry, and target, okay? Depending on how you get in. So I'm going to give you an example of this on the chart in just a moment, but a stop loss can be a buy limit, a sell limit, an at market, right? Or it can be a buy stop or a sell stop, okay? A stop order is not related to stop loss. Stop loss is just a term for how we use the order. Does that make sense? An entry can be a buy limit, a sell limit, an at market, a buy stop, and a sell stop. If I could write. A target can be a buy limit, sell limit, at market, buy stop, sell stop. So let me give you an example of each of these. A stop loss, if market starts going against where we, where we thought the market would go, and we want to get out of there, we could set a buy stop order. Let's just say, for instance, we thought the market was going to go down. Let's give you an example of this, right? So here's the chart. Let's just say that the market's trending and we get in a short position here, okay? So we set our order and we set a sell limit order here because we made the prediction here and we said, right, if we...
Sell limit is when you start selling, okay? And sell stop is when you stop selling, okay? Sell limit, you start, sell stop, you end.
Push up to that level, that's previous support, should become resistance. I've got enough confluence there. I'm happy to place a sell limit order and I'm going to tell my broker to just put an order there. You set it, you forget it, that's called a sell limit. And your idea is that the market's going to push down and retest these lows and you're going to place a buy limit here, sell limit here, buy limit here. Because you're telling your broker, if price pushes down below the current price that we're trading at, I want to buy back my position. And of course, this order here won't be active until this order's active. Okay, but what if market goes against you, against your prediction, right? So you've put a sell limit order in, you've sold the position and market's going against you, okay? Well, what you would use here, so remember what I said about the broker, if it goes above the price we're trading at, you've already sold, so how do you buy it back? Okay, well, you want to buy stop order here, okay? So it's just a case of how you're getting in the market, how you're placing orders, how that relates to, how we're using the order, and then how the actual order works. And it only comes down to these 6 things or 5 things here, right? So you've just got to memorize this. You've got to really understand this. And then you've got to know how you're using each of those 5 things. And then you've got to understand how you place the orders on the chart. So let's go over to the chart and I'll just make this really, really clear by giving you some examples on there. Okay, so in real time, let's take a look at some of the examples that we could give on some of these orders. All right, so we're currently trading at 22,913. Okay, and what I'm looking at is different orders that I might place. So if I was looking to sell this right now, okay, for whatever reason, I would place a at market order, right? At market order, and I would get in at market right here. And we're selling, I've placed an at market order, I've told my broker I want to sell, and we're in. Now, in order to cover my position.
Okay, at this point I already understand when you sell, how to sell, how to buy. But what I don't understand is, how do you know when you must sell, when you should sell, and when you should buy? That's what I don't understand.
Position. So basically, I need to
for another video. Probably with this video.
You know AI can do incredible things, but this isn't. With Artlist's AI.
The reason people lose so much while they're trading is because they don't know where to get in and where to get out of the markets and to be able to time those levels. Knowing when to buy and when to sell, not getting in too soon or too late, is going to significantly increase your crypto trading profits. And with what I'm going to show you, you're going to learn how to time the markets a lot better, and it's going to allow you to start making bank on these trades. So I'm going to take a deep dive in showing you my strategy on making sure that I'm getting in at the proper times on the chart. And I'm also going to share with you a lot of the tools and how I use them to be able to identify these areas. So if that sounds good, make sure you hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you like trading and investing. Check us out on Discord, Instagram. We have an amazing trading community. Also, guys, before we get into example 1, I'm going to be explaining all of this in chronological order. So if you skip around, you're not going to be able to understand what's at the end of the video. So make sure you watch the whole thing through. All right, so let's take a look at sand on a 1-hour frequency for our first example. So what most people do is they wait for things to move significantly up, for the buy side pressure to be really strong, and then they're going to pile into the market. So for example, we find this uptrend here where we see our lows are getting consistently higher. We then break this neckline level here and the price pushes up. This is where a lot of people, especially if they're breakout trading, are going to look to get into the market. The problem with this is that markets are going to trade in a range, and I'm going to show you a little bit about what I'm talking about in a second, but we can figure out whether or not it's in an area where price is probably going to flip or if it's going to continue moving up. when you're waiting for prices to sell off significantly and then you let it move significantly up before you start buying, the problem with this is that now, say for example, you're buying here, your take profit where you want to sell is going to be up here. Now we have to pick a random level along this line here for our stop loss. So if this makes a new low down here, this will get stopped out. The problem is this risk reward is awful, and most people aren't even using risk reward when they're buying things when they're moving significantly up. And this is often a product of FOMO, or fear of missing out. If you're watching things pump up and then you're getting into them, you're not anticipating.
If you're watching the things pump up and you are getting overreacting on a technical basis, and you will lose.
Those moves or being reactive on a technical basis, and you're going to end up getting smoked. And this is what we saw a lot in Bitcoin. We didn't have people buying down here
Okay,
basis.
I will take notes about that. Perfect.
And you're going to end up getting smoked. And this is what we saw a lot in Bitcoin. We didn't have people buying down here at 12 or right here at 20K. As soon as it started passing the 40, 50K mark, this is where everyone started racing to buy it before it got too high. And then all of the people that were in here were using these people as exit liquidity, and smart money was exiting the market while people are FOMO buying in. Why? Because the price is already way up here. It's in a high range, instead of being towards here at this lower range and buying around $16,000. So instead of having a really crappy risk reward, what we want to do is have the risk significantly smaller than the potential take profit. But the problem is now we're getting long with a stop loss not under a recent low in the middle of this trend. Okay, we're not being patient, and then look what happens. Price moves down. It's still following this uptrend. It's still moving in the direction of the trend that we're trying to trade, but we're already longing in such a high period that this is oftentimes a big no-go in the game of trading. So unless you're following a system where you're following that trend once it's established, okay, you're oftentimes going to get in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. Perfect.
And then the price is going to end up coming down and stopping you out. Okay, this is where it's helpful to establish a trading range so that we can start getting in at periods where it's probably actually likely going to reverse. So in order to find a range, we need periods of significant low and significant high. Then we need another low so that we can start looking for an area where we're going to hit that supply zone into that upper period of the range. So then we can look to actually enter the market at those periods. And there's a bunch of tools that we can use once we're at those areas to say whether this is going to be a good trade or a bad trade, right? But to start off, what we can do, and this is very simple, is take this trend line along this low, go up to our high region here. We see support, turn resistance.
Okay, I'm really confused. So first, before continuing with this, I need to understand the trend line. Uy. Okay, perfect.
Who said you had to pick one country to build your future? Build your brand in Dubai.
Scale it in Shanghai.
Trend lines are often misunderstood, and a lot of people just trade them blindly. This can lead to unnecessary losses. So, in this video, we'll cover everything you need to know about trend lines, including spotting fake breakouts, characteristics of a true breakout, and trading trend continuations. So, what is a trend line? A trend line is a diagonal support or resistance level that is drawn by connecting a series of swing highs or swing lows during a trend. Connecting a series
Okay, let me take notes about this.
diagonal support or resistance level that is drawn by connecting a series of swing highs or swing lows during a trending market. You see markets will move in a direction of the trend, followed by a retracement. As price action develops more in the chart, we will have a few areas of swing highs or lows that we can connect with each other to create trend lines. This diagonal line that we've connected with the swing lows will be our support level. Remember, not to just take a trade based on a trend line. Always look for more confluence, like key support levels lining up with your trend lines or fib levels. Most people draw trend lines incorrectly, so I'm going to show you how to do it right. You will need a minimum of 2 significant anchor points that line up and connect. Make sure to pick out the obvious tops and bottoms. These should be swing highs or swing lows with a clean move away in the opposite direction. Now, typically, you'll draw the trend line by using the wicks, as these often work best. However, the candle body can work as well in some cases, but try to just stick with one of the two and be consistent. Don't switch it up to fit your bias. So why should we use trend lines? As we mentioned earlier, trend lines can act as an additional level of support or resistance. Trend lines highlight certain areas and offer opportunity that we might not have gotten if we didn't draw the trend line. Now keep in mind, you don't just enter a trade, again, based on a trend line. You'll need other tools and data to support your decision. The second reason why people use trend lines is because it offers signals or hints to potential trend reversals. Whenever a market breaks through or hints to potential trend reversals. Whenever a market breaks through a trend line, it can mean one of two things. The first thing is a fake out. It can deviate just above or below a trend line, making people think a breakout is coming, but then it often moves in the opposite direction, trapping those breakout traders. Now, usually when this happens, you can see the candles are still relatively small at the breakout, meaning there's no real intention of breaking out. So the best thing to do in this situation is to anticipate the fake out and enter once you have confirmation. The second thing is a trend line breakout. The difference between the fake out and the breakout, meaning there's no real...
I need to rewatch this part because right now I'm confused again. So I will rewatch this part.
Meaning there's no real intention of breaking out. Opposite direction, trapping those breakout traders. Now, usually when this happens, you can see the candles are still relatively small at the breakout, meaning there's no real intention of breaking out. So the best thing to do in this situation is to anticipate the fake out and enter once you have confirmation. The second thing is a trend line breakout. The difference between the fake out and the breakout is the size of the candles. If you notice large, energetic candles breaking through a trend line with new...
Okay, the difference. Break out. Candles are much bigger. Perfect.
Two candles continuing the move, then it's likely a breakout. For even more confirmation, you can wait for it to create a second break of structure. So, wait for the market to break its first swing high, creating a new higher high. Then, this new higher high should be broken once again. This establishes a series of higher highs and higher lows. Enter on the newly created level, like an old support resistance, and ride that trend to maximize your profits. Now, we'll go over a few examples that are going to help you drive this point home. In the first example, we'll cover a trendline breakout trade. Here you can see an uptrend as indicated by the higher highs and higher lows. At one point, it started to go sideways while also making lower highs. We can connect these highs to create our trend line. Now keep in mind that the prior trend was bullish, and price moving sideways for a long time, we can expect an impulse move in the direction of the trend. So wait for price to break out of the trend line with an impulsive move. Then wait for price to break once again past this high to paint a new higher high. This confirms the bullish momentum, and you can enter on the newly created fair value gap and retest of that high. But what about fake breaks? Here we have two obvious points of swing highs that we can connect with each other. As the price action develops, we can see it approach the trend line with a third touch. Now it looks like price is breaking out of the trend line with two up candles, closing above the trend. Some of you might be thinking that this is a valid breakout, but you always have to keep the other side of the trade in mind. Because if you look closely, this move up wasn't actually that energetic or explosive. If we look to the left, we can see this down move with candles double the size of the current move up. We also have equal highs right here, which is an area of liquidity. So with this in mind, you want to wait for price to develop more and show you more information. Be demanding. Here we can see that it did go down from these highs with a bearish engulfing candlestick. As price continues down, it breaks the swing low. This confirms that it is a bearish trend. Now we can enter when a new level is created, such as a fair value gap. Enter at the retracement with your stop above the high and target the levels lower.
We go on one metric. We don't look at any other metric at Smart Crowd in detail as investor satisfaction.
Finally, we'll go over an example of trend continuation with trend lines. Here we can see price coming from a downtrend. At one point, it started to change course and move higher. Then it came back down and filled the inefficiency before retreating back. This gives us two anchor points where we can connect a trend line. Now all we have to do is wait for price to return and touch the trend line area. As price approaches the trend line, we can see that it went slightly below the trend. However, it did not have momentum behind it, or energy, which is what you want to look for a true breakout. So as we wait for price action, we can begin to see a bullish engulfing candlestick paint. You can enter long here or wait for more confirmation. As the market moves up, it has created a new higher high. This gives you extra confirmation that it's bullish. So now you could enter here on the retest of this resistance area, which has now turned into our new support level. Stop losses set below and target the levels higher. We have only one more example, and you don't want to miss this, because trend lines can be areas of liquidity. In this example, we can see the market is in an uptrend, as indicated by the higher highs and higher lows. If we know that the market is bullish, you want to wait for it to reach an area of support before entering along. In this case, we can see a fair value gap just below these lows. We want to wait for the market to take out liquidity down first before reaching these highs, which we can identify as trendline liquidity. Trendline traders will have this trend line to act as resistance. This area will likely have liquidity resting, as the traders who are short have their stop losses set just above this trend line. Since we know that the overall trend is bullish, the probabilities of a trend continuation are much higher. So we'll wait for the market to retrace and enter once it reaches the fair value gap. Stop losses set below the fair value gap and take profits set at the levels higher. Now that you've added trend lines to your tool belt, go forward and try these out yourself. If you know a trader that might benefit from this video, please share it with them. Don't forget to leave a like and comment in the video of what topic you'd like to see covered next.
So thank you so much for that information, bro. Okay, the topic is more clear, but I have a lot of questions right now, so I need to study this topic because right now I have a lot of questions. I will study more about trading, and for tomorrow probably I will watch another video about trading because I want to try. I want to make $1 million, so I need to try a lot of paths, bro. Today is day 12, trying to make $1 million. 354 days left, so I need to study a lot, bro. But that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. That help me go to the moon and also help me make $1 million. So please subscribe. Thank you so much. I hope for tomorrow to have 80 or 90 subscribers. Please, 90 subscribers or 100 subscribers. Who knows, bro, who knows. So 100 subscribers, please. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate that you were here with me. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow, day 13. Today is day 12, 354 days left to make $1 million. I will continue posting, I will continue going live every single day without failing, bro. That's the promise, and I will continue giving more free value. I want to start giving free value because right now my content is about me and the personal brand and the project and living with that, but I want to give free value and help others. Probably in the future, in a month, I will be giving more free value, bro. But for now, I need to learn a lot to give the best value and to make the best videos, bro. I will make the best videos in the world. I will put a lot of effort in my videos. So let's go. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. And I just want to say, one life, one shot.